Let the bells ring. Let them ring in the steeple of the heart. Let them ring throughout the earth. For the light of God does pierce the night, does pierce the division, and bring all to resolution. And the cycles unfold, and the year approaches, and it is upon us. I am your Gautama Buddha. I come in the flame of joy, for this is the tradition of our lineage. Joy by the fire of the heart, and the bells that ring in the cathedral of the heart. Oh, beloved, there is joy in the heart of the earth. There is joy in your threefold flame. Joy shall rule the earth this day, for I have come, and I am in the heart of all, and I will not stand for the doom and gloom of the world. Nay, I will take you, I will mold you, I will prepare you. Receive me now. Oh, come closer, beloved. Be willing to come to the fount of my heart. Be not afraid, for I give you back your identity and take from you only the shadowed rags that should long ago have been consumed. I am in the heart of the western Shambhala. I am in the heart of the earth, and I have come with a kindling fire, truly a kindling fire. And what shall I kindle? I shall kindle the debris, that it be not there on the morrow. I shall kindle the heart of love. I shall kindle, for that is my calling. Will you kindle also, my loves?
Yes.
So be seated now. How shall we ponder the weighty matters of the year? Well, we shall indeed ponder them, pound them, pummel them, and place them where they belong, in the sacred fire of the sacred heart of God, and then to receive again the return fashioned as it was in the beginning. This old world can be righted, but I must have pillars of fire who will to be righted. And I call upon you to be those pillars, wherever you hail from, wherever you take that soil beneath your feet and say, this is the place I call home, where I plant my feet, and where I invoke my God, and where I look to the rising of the sun, and the great Maltese cross of Saint Germain. This is the place that is my center of the universe, and from this point of my heart, the central sun of my being, I send forth rays of light piercing the night. It is illusion, beloved. It is Maya. Therefore pierce it and see the reality of the new day. See the reality of thine own path. See the reality of the sun. See the reality of the beating heart of God within you. O mighty breath of life, breath of life. Oh yes, immortal fire, kindle, kindle souls in the earth. Write them, O Lord Sanat Kumara. O cosmic beings of light, who attend this evolution's victory, hear my call in the name of those who gather here and there and in the Himalayas. Yes, here and there in the earth, where those who recite my mantras and the mantras of those of this lineage. So, cosmic beings, Take note, for the devotees come, the devotees and noble life. The devotees would know the fire of love's giving of self that receives the great God's self again and again and again, as the giving goes out and the giving returns, and the fashioning of a soul become a God does take place before the very eyes of the bodhisattvas, the bhikkhus, and the nuns as well. O the devotees of light in the earth, be quickened then, for you have not known the direct fire of my heart, for you have been kept apart by a doctrine that is no longer satisfying nor complete. For we have moved beyond incorporating, refining, kneading the dough until the bread is baked. And so you are given that piece of a loaf. Take it then. Take each and every crumb and know that the teachings of the Buddha move on. The teachings of Sanat Kumara move on. And you move on, beloved, and you are grateful to be delivered of old years and crusty mold and all that has held you back. The fire of love sweeps in the wake of the Christmas wind, and the fire of the new year is upon all. Yes, it shall be a year of fire. And now there is handed to me the scroll of the thought form of the year 1993, as you calculate the cycles. So this thought form, beloved, is unmistakable and clear. This single thought form is being multiplied 1 billion times. Everywhere you will not turn a foot in time or space without this thought form being present. It is the all-seeing eye of God, beloved, the most needed faculty of divine love on the part of every person, and those who have not yet personhood, but must win it through their own Christ self and inner Buddha. I am the Lord of the world, therefore I have something to say this night to the evolutions of earth. The all-seeing eye of God is that you might see, that you might open your eyes, that you might look through the single eye of God and know what is real and what is unreal, what is illusion that leads you astray, and what is that path that is real and necessary for your fulfillment. The question you must ask, beloved, regarding your path, each and every one of you, citizens of earth, is it necessary? Is it required? Or is it not? Follow the path that is necessary. Follow the path that is the requirement for your victory, for your God mastery. Set aside the path that is not toward this goal, but only to the goal of ego satisfaction. You will take a long detour if you continue on this path, my beloved ones, and I speak to all who gather everywhere to hear my message. I speak to a world then. Your time is limited. Your space is limited. Stop your dallying, for that dalliance, beloved ones, will cost you, and cost you the ultimate price. This is an hour for the concentration in the heart of hearts of the Lord, Sanat Kumara. This is a moment of concentration of all of the essence of one's being. Concentration, beloved, that you might discover how much of yourself is in this moment, concentrated essence of the great God being, and how much of the rest that remains is but the entrapments, the accoutrements of the illusionary cycles. You do not need to fill illusion. You do not need to fulfill illusion, but you need to fulfill reality. What then is reality? Reality is first and foremost freedom. It is beauty. It is industriousness. It is science. Reality is sensitivity to all life, allowing oneself, that is God, to flow into all life as the ebb and flow of the tide, and to return to you again with the messages of millions. You think this is only the path of a Buddha or an advanced bodhisattva. I tell you no. If you think this, you are simply postponing the day. You need not be complete or an adept. You simply need a fiery heart of love, and I will supply it. Therefore you have no excuse that you might say, I have not a fiery heart of love. Well, I tell you, the God who lives and breathes within you, the sacred fire breath, does have that mighty fiery heart of love. And out of that fount of love, pours forth reality. And the all-consuming love that does receive the return of the tide to the center of being does also transmute that world energy of burden and sorrow, frivolousness, and all that goes with the human experience. O pillars of fire in the earth, increase, increase. I command all devotees unto the 33rd level of the etheric octave of the heaven world. I command you, increase the pillar of fire that you are. Increase the heart of fire. Let love and love's reward come to you. Love's enlightenment, love's cause for being. All that is truth is reality, and all that you are in reality is living truth. This is Christ in you, definite, real, appearing, manifestation, specific, and carefully sculpted by the divine mind. I do not speak of ethereal things. I speak of things that are concrete and yet eternal, that far surpass the paltry goals of life when limited to the development of the human potential. Let God potential be yours by development, by pursuit, surely by a steadfastness that consists of the fire that you hear and see. Yes, you do. You see me at inner levels. Your soul does behold me, and I impress upon your soul the image of your own Buddhahood. I impress it upon you, for we have come one after the other over the years to impress upon you that real God I identity. And now that real God I shall be with you and over you. It shall uncover all things and secret places. None shall hide, for the thought form of the all-seeing eye of God is more than a thought form. It is the presence of the living God in the earth. Yes, God has taken up his abode in the earth. You may say, when has he not? Well, I will tell you when he has not. He has removed himself when there was the time when none did keep the flame. Yes, God in the personal personality of manifestation may remove himself or center and concentrate himself. Thus, by the presence of the eye of God, you know that your God is present. even the mighty I Am Presence. And what will you do, children of Israel, when you are naughty? And the I Am that I Am does come by the law to deliver upon you your karma. Where is your Moses who shall plead for you and defend you? Where I say, well, your Moses is in your holy Christ self. Your Moses is in your messenger who does plead for you night and day before the altar of God, in and out of the body. Yes, beloved, those who know the way of hierarchy know that above all, those on the path require the mercy of God. Therefore, you who have turned aside from the dazzling light of your I Am Presence, for it is too bright for your corner, where you have found your niche of comfortability, I say to you, you shall not escape. You shall not escape the all-seeing eye of God, nor God himself. For the mighty I Am Presence has come down to say to you, what is this trifling? What is this trifling in the human consciousness and all of the meandering ways in the delta of human existence? What is this? Come then, rise to the level of your Christhood, and let your identity be saved. For how else shall you be saved, wandering here and there in your own dimensions of your own puny human consciousness? It will not work. It has never worked. Therefore, step out of the old mold, as has been said. The command went forth. Yes, indeed, it went forth. But did you step out of the old mold? I say, not entirely. Therefore, stand on your feet, step out of the old mold, that I may speak to you in the mold of your Christhood now, for I shall not tarry forever with this evolution. Therefore, have the sense of time. Now make your fiat and say, in the name of my mighty I Am Presence and holy Christ self, I step out of the old mold, and then step aside, and then look at it, beloved, one last longing glance, until my salamanders come and consume it, that you might not step back into it. You may recreate it, but you will not step into that mold again that you step out of now. Now let's see you do it in my presence, since you have not done it apart from my presence. Come quickly, fiery salamanders, for I cannot bear the stench of the old mold any longer. Therefore, quickly consume them now, ere we all suffocate from the toxins. So be it. Be seated and know that the old mold is an offense to the angels of Gautama Buddha. Yes, beloved, now come into your own. This is a day and hour when you must decide. Have you heard those words before? Are you tired of them? Well, I tell you, be not weary. For if you have not made your decision, I say, you better make it now. For you do not know what the challenges of the new year and the remainder of the decade shall be. I come to prepare you, and I come to speak to you in the West, as I speak easily to my disciples in the East, for they are used to the gruffness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They know the way of the Eastern gurus, and they know the way of the fierceness of a Bodhidharma, a Padmasambhava, a Lao Tzu, and a Confucius. They know the way of the fierceness of that mighty golden emperor. Oh yes, beloved, those who have come to take souls to God, they have not had the opportunity to give the current dispensation of the 51%. Therefore, they led their chelas the way of the balancing of the 100% of their karma. And this they worked with to accomplish, if at all possible, in a single lifetime. In the single final embodiment, when every step and every thought and deed must count for entering into the divine matrix. Poor humanity, poor children of God, so burdened and so suffocated by the stench of their own karma and the densification and calcification of that karma, that finally even the lords of karma and the 24 elders did take mercy upon you and give you that dispensation of the 51%. And what has happened then? Some who have known of this, who could become therefore masters of their destiny, yet take for granted and are as spoiled children. Well, I might as well get out my paddle and give you your New Year's Eve spanking, for the babe of the new year can receive that spanking now. So take it, beloved, for it is the fire of my heart that does impel you into the majestic geometry of who you really are here and now. I am not speaking of some lofty other world that you cannot contact. I say you, as gods in the flesh, do have that matrix if you would but bestir yourselves to manifest it. Beware, beloved, for I come on the heels of almighty beings of love, and I am the compassionate Buddha of love, and with me comes Maitreya, the mighty Buddha of eternal kindness, and Manjushri, the mighty tutor of your souls. So the Buddhas come, and they are infired with the fire of Sanat Kumara, who has sent us all to let you know that we expect a little more effort. We expect that you will do better and not repeat the same old round as though you were the deer in the forest turning round and round, nestling down to the same bed that you have nestled into for thousands of years by habit. You are not creatures of habit. You are creatures of the divine Buddha, and you have come from far-off worlds, and indeed trailing clouds of glory. Let that glory descend now. Fear not to let go of that old self. And do not react when I send my messenger to rebuke you, for I will not allow the fire to be withheld from you any longer, lest you be totally unprepared for the day of the spiritual trial by fire that is indeed far greater than the fire that comes to bring you the suffering of physical loss. Yes, beloved, I seek the ones who are tired of waiting to become the adepts on the path, and who will now set aside their garments for the higher way. Now you may speak to your Lord Sanat Kumara from your heart, as you have spoken in your letters. Speak from your heart and speak to him, and tell him your response to my call. Yes, I do watch, I do wait, I do tap my foot as I wait, as I see, as the nations of the earth have done nothing, nothing of substance to deal with the Yugoslavian question, nothing of substance to deal with the unaccounted for nuclear weapons and all of the material of war in the Soviet Union former. Yes, beloved, I tap my feet, I wait, and those of the world do not move. They are surfeited in their momentums of darkness, and in the satiation of their pleasures and desires, they are not fit to rule an anthill, I tell you, let alone their own backyard or the hemisphere. I wait, I tap my foot, what shall be done regarding the war on drugs and all of that which pours into the bellies and the minds of the children and the wombs of the mothers? Yes, I wait, I tap my foot, and I come to my own, and I say, you have the potential to call down the fire of God. Do not be insulated. The world is yours to claim. The world is yours to defend. And you have been given the call to call for divine justice upon those who do not care for those who suffer in the earth. Well, beloved, yours is the responsibility to call down the fire of God to make things right. Therefore, you yourselves, as you have been told, are considered representatives of the people in the spiritual domain, just as your representatives are in your state legislatures and in your Congress in Washington and across the nations. Yes, beloved, as they are responsible at the physical and mental level, so you share equal and greater responsibility at the spiritual level. Therefore, know what is happening and give all of those fiats to Sanat Kumara and the hosts of the Lord. I wonder how you can weary and cease your calls when there are so many, many crises in the earth and so much suffering. Wake up, I say, wake up. What have we created here? An island of insulation, whereby you may simply say, we are here on the mountain, far, far removed from these burdens. Well, you are not far from the beating of the heart of the little bird. You are not far from the beating of the heart of the little child in the womb in Yugoslavia, in the heart of the mother who has lost everything. Yes, beloved, your heart is one with the hearts of the world, with the heart of the Christ and the heart of the Buddha, and your sensitivities must increase lest you fail at the level which is expected of you. Yes, the call is expected, not working until you drop, but simply the prayer of the heart, the prayer of the lips, and the direction of your life. It is no time for fooling around, I say. We will march into this year, and I will tell you something. I will no longer tap my foot waiting for the responses. I will take my rod, and I will poke this one and that one and the next one and millions, and they shall know it. For I tell you, the karma shall increase in this year. It shall increase for those who do not exercise their lawful responsibilities at their level of evolution. So know it, beloved, I have said it, and do not direct your anger against this descending karma upon yourselves, also against God or God's representatives in heaven and on earth, but run to consume that potential for anger against God and replace it with the love for having received a chastening from the Lord Gautama Buddha, because I love you. For there is only chastening when there is a love relationship. And mind you, I have not severed my tie to any of the evolutions of the earth, for I am in that vein in the path of the Buddhas who have preceded me. Therefore know, beloved, that I speak to one and to all, and the love that I bring is the love that begets responsibility. Let therefore all know that each and every year brings the next level of opportunity and the next level of responsibility. You cannot simply take off from your shoulders that cape of responsibility and set it aside and say, well, I will do what I choose to do, and have that devil-may-care attitude. Yes, beloved, I am speaking personally into the heart of every life stream that is an embodiment upon earth. I am speaking to those preparing to embody and those who are leaving the screen of life, for I am the Lord of the world, of all evolutions of the earth in all octaves whatsoever. I am simultaneously speaking at the 33rd level of the astral plane in the very pit of death and hell. I stand there, beloved, and I speak to every level in all existence. I speak to the hearts and souls of all. Hear me then. Realize the potential that is in you now, for you have the seed of the Buddha. Realize it carefully. And in that same now, that eternal now, leap forward to the point of the future Buddha you shall be. And there in that point of God realization, meditate on what you shall become, and then return to the point of the seed and build the foundations and the nucleus for that which is to come. All-seeing eye of God, penetrate every nook and cranny and every corner. All-seeing eye of God. I am wiping the forehead of each one on earth who is on a spiritual path that is real, that is true, that is sponsored under Sanat Kumara. And I take a very small portion of the dullness from you. It is very slight, beloved, for the adjustment to seeing through the third eye is very great. And I do not recommend that you force it. Rather, let the all-seeing eye of God be upon you and be a beacon in the night to show you the way. For you will not desire to see death and hell once you have seen the heaven world. You cannot see the above unless you see the beneath. Therefore, guard the sealing of the chakras until God does use them to show you a vision and a calling and a direction and the way in which you must go. Now in this moment, beloved, upon all the earth there does descend a fine powder. It is a dust of karma. It is a small amount, but unto every creature it comes. The entire earth receives this. It is ahead of the dark cycle of April 23rd. It comes, beloved. You who have the violet flame may transmute it ere this conference concludes. Be grateful that you know of the violet flame and the science of the spoken word. You may call on behalf of earth and her evolutions, but as you know, it is lawful for you to call for light bearers. Not all of your calls will be answered, for all must deal with a slight weight of responsibility and get used to that weight, the fine powder each 23rd of the month. Why, beloved? Because you must be prepared for greater things to come, far more difficult hurdles and problems in the earth body. All things are not fulfilled, and there are some which, as of the tolling of the bell of the new year, will not be set aside. There do remain any number of matters which have been called to your attention again and again that may yet be mitigated. What rejoicing that you have during this conference the opportunity for 24 hours in the aura of Omritas. Make the most of these for yourselves, your church, and earth's evolutions. for each and every third of the month, beloved, is the opportunity for transmutation of the prior cycle of the descent of dust and preparation for that which will come on the next 23rd. You can make it, beloved, if you pursue with all diligence the next step. But I caution you in this hour, do not think that you can enter this year at the same level you have been in the past, or the one previous to that, and so on. This year demands you step up spiritually 1 foot by the measurement of 12 inches. So see, it takes a little effort to step up a step that is a foot high. Yes, it will take effort. It will take saneness of mind and not insanity that takes you here and there and pulls you all over the place when there is one place to be, the place of the Buddha in your heart. Defend this community with the living life of the fountain of your heart. Defend community. Remember how the Tibetan community has been ravaged. Remember how rare have been the communities since the sinking of the continent of Atlantis. Communities that have succeeded and produced ascensions that could justify the continuity of the rounds of earth. Too few, beloved. Remember the ravaging and the destruction of Crotona. Remember the loss of the Knights of the Round Table. Remember the loss of that mystery school. Remember, beloved, what it takes to produce community. Then position yourself as you are able. Do not judge your ability, I urge you, according to current levels of the positioning of the psyche, but measure your levels of ability according to the spirit that does soar with the eagles, the spirit that is real, that inhabits this temple and beats your heart. Measure your ability by a standard that is worthy of you and not beneath you or me. I am Gautama Buddha. I have many unpleasant tasks before me this year as I deal with the adjudication of divine justice in human affairs. Yes, I have many unpleasant tasks, and to a number of these I send my ascended and unascended bodhisattvas and angels of light. Many messages shall be delivered to millions of life streams upon earth. These messages will be for them, for many, a final warning or a final calling. Yes, the cycles are accelerating and concluding. Doors are closing, doors are opening. May you not be caught in the revolving door of the revolving human consciousness. Yes, arise and shine, and let the light of Sanat Kumara be upon you. Be prepared for anything in the peace-commanding presence of the heart, infused with love and allegiance to the will of God. You will not fail any test unless you decide to fail it by some orneriness or ignorance of the law of your own being. Now I open to you the vastness of all ages past, present, and future for a moment's glimpse. And in that glimpse, as the clicking of the shutter of the camera, you have recorded upon you now scenes of yourself in many climes and places, ages, civilizations, high and low, planetary systems. This is a night to assess oneself, one's God, one's goal, then to set the jaw and move in that direction and never look back to the old mold. Now all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the lineage of Sanat Kumara salute you each one and send you mighty love. I am your Gautama. Forget not to include me in your life, for I am your life, inasmuch as I am the keeper of the flame that burns on the altar of your heart. And I send the thread of light to sustain it when you are careless and do not guard it. Yes, I am the Lord of the world, and I am grateful to be of service to the great Atman within you, and to your soul, and to you personally, and to who you are, and what you can and shall be. For I decree it, you shall become who you are. I decree it in God's name, and you may affirm it. Lord Gautama Buddha, I shall become who I am.
Lord Gautama Buddha, I shall become who I am.
Let your words be the final words you have spoken in the old year, and with them you have bridged the new year. My peace I leave with you. Keep the peace. Perusha.